So we've got a brand new list. April 17th, Comic Tom has dropped it. And let's take a look at his top 10 list and see which, if anything, is worth getting and what should we avoid like the plague. Stick around. Welcome back, family. Thanks for joining yet again here at Ohana Comics. I looked at the list this week for Comic Tom's top 10, and I would also recommend that you guys check out JP's Budget Collecting, because watching his show is actually what prompted me to want to do my review of the list as well. But he also incorporates the CBSI top 10, and they do a live stream where other people talk and give feedback. It's really a great show. You guys should check that out too. But I also give what's called a Remember Me. Now, there are a lot of books we say this is not the time to buy it, and I try to tell you when is a good time to pick one up. So at the end of the video, I will also incorporate a Remember Me comic book. So getting into the top 10 list, there's a few books in here of what the hell. We've got a contradiction in statements and what they mean, and there are actually a couple of books on here that might be good to look for, but I don't know if you want to pay these kind of prices. Was that vague enough? I did the best I could. Coming in at number 10, we have A Town Called Terror #1. Now, this is the retailer incentive. Selling for $18. By the way, I checked this morning, and it's now actually selling for about $20 to $25. So this one seems to be trending upwards, generally because they had over 50,000 people, that is Comic Tom's audience, watch the list and start jumping online to buy it. This came from Image Comics, but the biggest question I don't know is how many copies? Okay, it's a retailer incentive. Are there 1,000 copies? Are there 100,000 copies? I don't know. I mean, it's not the latter, but everything is going to depend upon how good the series is. It seems to be a good read so far, but we got to see where it goes. We don't know. At $18, though, if you can grab one, it's not a big investment. I would still try to see if you can get it a little bit less. If you're looking online, do not forget to incorporate in your shipping costs as well. Sorry, I just got a couple messages. I had to check it out. Coming in at number 9, Universe X, number 6. I'm going to bring my book up so I can stop doing this all the time. I'm going to give myself whiplash. From the 2001 series. Now, this was the inspiration of the costume that they used for the Moon Knight series. Okay, now the inspiration of the comic book, the inspiration for a costume, doesn't really have anything to do with anything. Also, we don't know which is going to be the predominant Moon Knight costume at the end of the series. We also know that this series is not going to have a season 2. So is this a costume that's going to be going into the MCU going on? Is it going to be the third? We don't know anything. What we do know is that $18 to $50 raw. $50 raw for what Comic Tom just said is people are finding these in the dollar bins. We're going through the dollar bins and pulling these books out because, really? So this is a dollar bin book. This is how much we cared for it. And now it's going for $50 for the inspiration of a costume that might not be the long-term costume. We don't know. I mean, it's cool. It probably will be, but even if it is, it's big whoop. It's, I don't know. This is not Spider-Man 252, guys, okay? So, yeah, I would avoid this one. Speaking of the plague, Bad Idea Donuts coming in at number 8. And I just had to use this picture because it showed this was somebody selling it on eBay with the donut box. Wow, didn't we learn from ENIAC? Oh my God, this is, wow, I can't wait to see JP, because if this does not come up as absolute dumpster fire on his, and he's got the coolest icons, I don't know what is. This is the definition of what the heck are we thinking of. At the South Carolina Comic Convention, they were selling Bad Idea donuts for $20 because they taste exactly like 2 donuts at the same time. And with that, you got a free comic. And that comic is now selling for $150. Well, that's what they reported on Comic Tom. Right before starting this video, I went on eBay and looked at sold listings. And the last 3 listings in order was 134, 114, 107. This thing is on its way down already. Didn't even make it a couple hours after Comic Tom's list, and it's already dropping. Yeah, can you say $5? First off, who would want to spend $20? They were raving more about the taste of the donut than they were about the comic book on Comic Tom. They spent 80% of the time talking about how great the donut was and not about the comic. That tells you that they got nothing positive to say about it themselves. Please avoid that book. Number 7. This is another one that, like, are we really that desperate to try to find some kind of spec somewhere? Doctor Strange number 48. In the 1981 series, the first appearance, it's the first meeting of Doctor Strange and Brother Voodoo. Now, this comes from the fact that one of the stuntmen/actors posted in January on his Twitter account a copy of the comic book, saying that as they wrapped it up, Sam Raimi gave him a copy of the book and said, "Here, I just want you to have this." You know, this was like kind of an inspiration for the series, for the movie that we made. Okay, and that means what? That specific comic? Maybe that particular series, that Doctor Strange run from the... when did that Doctor Strange run start? Because that was number 48, 4 years before that, probably, I guess, 1977. So maybe that 100, whatever, they bought 100 copies. They read them all, used that whole series as the inspiration for how they wanted to frame Doctor Strange. And then when they were done, they just started giving out comics to everybody. And that stuntman happened to get number 48. Who knows? We have no clue. We really don't. What I do know is that they're expecting this to be a worldwide phenomenon, big moneymaker. After the United States, what's the biggest market? China. China has very, very strict guidelines as far as what movies they allow in their countries, and they will not allow anything that is religious. And voodooism is a religion. So if they have a character in there that is practicing voodoo and is part, a religion that they consider to be offensive, the government will not even allow that movie to be shown to their 1 billion people. So I still think that Mephisto and Brother Voodoo will not be in the MCU. I'm hoping they find some other way of bringing Ghost Rider in and circumvent that. But wow, $35 for Raws on this book, $200 for a 9.8. No, this is a month after the movie. This is back in the dollar bins, guys. It's $2-3 book at best. $35, no. Now, contradiction in terms. Oh man, I heard them say this, and I'm like, are they realizing what they're doing? Coming in at number 6, Thor: God of Thunder, number 2, first appearance of Gore the God Butcher, and $220 for a Raw. CGC 9.8 is going for $500. Now they said that last summer the 9.8s were going for about $700, so it's less now. Well, it's going to be less now because $700 will be during the hype when, oh my God, we're getting Christian Bale is cast to play Gore the God Butcher. That's when it blows up, and that's when we say, don't buy it. But we're getting closer to the movie release, and we still don't have a trailer for it. What we do have is a toy release, and it makes the Gore the God Butcher look very timid. Okay. I don't know if Gore is going to be a great villain or not. What I do know is generally the villains spike up and come right down real quick. So even if he's a great villain, I don't see him beating Thor. I see him being killed by the end of it and then goes right back down again. But what was interesting was that they said they had a big boost in sales. Was it 400% increase in sales or 140% increase in sales, or whatever the heck was the percentage increase in sales that they talk about every single book that they bring out. And that means that everybody's bringing their books to the market and trying to dump it. What? I thought big increases in sales means that it's hot and everybody wants to buy it. They can take that data and manipulate it however they want to suit their argument. Okay, it's like people say 95% of all accidents take place within 5 miles of your home. Well, guess what? 95% of all driving takes place within 5 miles of your home. So, stats can always be manipulated. So when they say, well, there's a 200% increase in sales, everybody's got to get this book. Another say, there's a 200% increase in sales, everybody's dumping this book. Guys, you can't have it both ways. Okay, it's not a two-flavored donut. Yeah, in any event, though, this is still the wrong time to buy this book. If you really want to have this one for your collection, you want to wait for about 2 months after the movie comes out, after Gore gets killed or whatever, and the book drops in price. Coming in at number 5. By the way, the majority of my crazy rants are done. Number 5, Nightmare Country from the Sandman Universe, number 1. This is the 1 in 100 Frizen cover. Now, honestly, this is a gorgeous book. Average sales going for about $250. This is 2.5 times the ratio variant. Now, this is a formula JP uses on his, and if it has to hit, I think 3 times ratio, 2.5 to 3 times ratio to keep value. Otherwise, it will come back down. This one's borderline. I don't know. I really don't know. The whole thing is going to depend upon how good the series is. Generally, the ratio variance, like something is killing the children, is because the book flies under the radar in the first place. Now, this is a DC book, so I don't know how many stores ordered, how many there are out there. I mean, the 1 in 100 variants of, what do we call it, House of Slaughter, I'm sure are not worth a lot because there's a ton of them. The whole question is how many that got ordered, how many were printed. If it's under 1,000, which is possible, then this may be worthwhile. I don't have that kind of data. I think that this book, in the long run, 6 months to a year, will come down in value. If I'm wrong and I missed it, so be it. I'll have to catch the next train. Coming in number 4, Spider-Man number 265. Wow, I didn't even want to go looking on the internet to find this picture, but because I knew if I could just go back videos, this has been on the list so many times, it's ridiculous. And I'm just wasting my hard drive space storing all these pictures of the same book. First appearance of Silver Sable. $80 raw, $738 for a 9.8. The Craven movie. Okay. No. Because it's Sony doing it. The only thing that Sony has put out, in my opinion, that is worth sitting down and watching are the Spider-Man movies, and that's because the Disney Fahey crew are holding their hand during the production. When they do Venom, Venom 2, Morbius, they're borderline unwatchable. The first Venom movie was cute. The second one, what the heck did they do with Carnage? And Morbius, I didn't even bother going to the theater. I'm sorry. So, I don't expect the Craven movie to be any better than the Morbius movie. I don't expect Silver Sable to even be a major character in that Spider-Man movie. So, $265 is still a Spider-Man book. A 9.8, $700, that's crazy. $80 for a raw, that's also crazy. That's got to come way back down. I'd wait for it to drop back down to about $20. Coming in number 3, Avengers Forever, number 3. First appearance of the Infinity Thing is why this has appeared on his list before, but now is another, what are we specking on? First, female Moon Knight is from an alternate reality, and this is because there's a Mark Spector's wife. Khonshu's got his, this is a spoiler for the TV series, so I'll put my hand up if you don't want to hear it. Mark Spector is married. He's trying to get a divorce from his wife. Steven's falling in love with him. But Khonshu is saying that that's going to be his next target if Mark ever backs out. And so we may wind up getting a female Moon Knight. I don't think we're going to. But since Avengers Forever also has a female Moon Knight from another reality, oh my God, it's a female Moon Knight. No, it's a completely different person. It has nothing to do with Mark Spector's wife. It's no relation. It's just a female person in, it's another version of, what's her face, from Loki, the female Loki. So $12 for a raw and $90 for a 9.8. No, neither one of the characters that are in this, the female Moon Knight or the Infinity Thing, are ever going to be something that's in the MCU. The way you see it, that's a book that's going to be horrible. Arm down. Welcome back. All right, coming in number 2. The 2 might be decent. Okay, so 2 is the 2015 run of Spider-Man, number 10. First appearance of Spider-Punk. Now, he's got his first series. They just came out, and the 1 in 50 is selling really well. $60 for a Raw, $3.85 for a 9.8. Now, the 1 in 25 Delato is gorgeous. I'm not crazy for the 1 in 10, but that 1 in 25 is really nice. The $60 for the Raw is... 2015 seems to be a pretty good benchmark for a lot of books, I tell you. It's almost like they knew there was going to be a pandemic and everybody was going to get free money to spend. Bad conspiracy theorist. But I think Spider-Punk might be around to stay. Do I think he's ever going to be as popular as Miles Morales? No. But he could be something decent, and that might be a decent book. The 1 in 25 Delato, though, oh boy. I just looked at recent sales on that, and I was looking at the Raws because $700 for the 9.8 I'm not touching. But the Raws were going a month ago, $177, and now sales $415. So it's 2.5 times its price in a month. If you can, since that's gone up so quickly, I would check your LCSs. You might get lucky and find this copy here of the 1 in 25 Delato before it's been marked up, sneaking somewhere in a box or on a back wall that people haven't noticed it. So keep your eyes out for that book, okay? Page, because I got so many notes in my little book here, I had to go to the next page. Coming in at number 1, Brightest Day, number 4. Okay, so this is the first appearance of Jackson Hyde, who is the second Aqualad. And more spec news, TV show news. We've got $30 Raw and $100 for a 9.6, which probably means that the 9.8 is going to be around the $180 mark or so. Spec news is never when you buy the book. So I personally would not... I mean, I would like to get this book into my collection at some point. I would like to get a 9.8, but it is a regular... It's a relatively newer book. I would be shooting to try to get this at about the $120 to $130 mark, maybe up to $150 in a few months after some of this news has died down. But again, as a 9.8. All right, so that's my view of the top 10. It's not, it's not as bad. It's just a lot of the hypocrisy, I guess I'd say, that ticked me off a little bit this week. But I've got to get you guys a Remember Me pick. So these, again, are books that, as I said in here, this is not the time to buy it. Wait for this to die down. Wait for this. Okay, so if everybody's forgetting about the book and that drives the price down, that means that you and I have also forgotten about the book. So this is that book screaming out, hey, remember me? Well, this week, who's screaming? But Nicholas Scratch, yes. We've got Fantastic Four number 185, first appearance of Nicholas Scratch. Do I think Nicholas Scratch will be in the show? Doubtful. Possible, but doubtful. Do I think that as the show approaches, everything related to this is going to shoot up? Yep. Yep. But right now, it's died down quite a bit. We got Senora Scratchy. We had cut scenes and everything from WandaVision. I think a lot of people are going to speculate on Nicholas Scratch as the series draws near, especially when the trailer hits for... oh my God. I can't remember her name. Pausing because I'm sounding like an idiot more than usual. Agatha Harkness. I actually had to start singing the song in my head. It was Agatha all along. It's Agatha. Oh, yeah. Let's get a little bit more coffee into the system, shall we? All right. So, Agatha Harkness' son, Nicholas Scratch, she had that rabbit that she was calling Senora Scratchy, and I believe there was a cut scene where the rabbit turned into a large demon, which, okay. But again, as we get closer, we get that trailer for Agatha's TV series, which is going to be on Disney+. Everything related to Agatha Harkness is going to spike again. I mean, even the first appearance of Agatha has gone up and down. Fantastic Four 185, it was selling 6 months ago around $50 for a Raw. Now, right now, it's selling for, I'm looking at really good grade copies. And this picture that I have here is from a recent sale auction. Really nice copies are 25 to 30. So you're looking at about half the price for a near mint copy. This one right here actually sold for $26 with $3.95 shipping. So you were looking at a total bill of about $30. As we get close, if we see anything in the trailer which even somebody can misread as this the Nicholas Scratch coming through with the books, or even just the fact that it's in that Agatha, everything Agatha will be blowing up at that time, that will be a great time to buy this. To sell this book. To bring it to market, because all the sales will be increasing. So, anyway, that's my Remember Me. That's my view of the top 10. I want to thank you guys for joining yet again. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and click on notifications as well, because Greg and I are really starting to get some good quantity of videos out there, and we want you guys to watch them. And make sure I know it's a pain, but just if you could, just click that like button, because the more people that like it, the more people that drop comments on it, the faster we build the channel, the faster we increase our subscribers, and the more giveaways we give. I mean, we got graded books we want to give away when we hit these milestones, and we're really looking forward to it. Thanks for joining yet again, and until I see you again, mahalo.